So as you settle onto your back body, take whatever leg position feels good to you this morning. If you're elevating through the heart space, support the head so that you have lots of room in the neck and the top of the shoulders. Constructive rest is nice if you're having low back issues this morning, just allowing the knees to rest on each other, kind of pigeon toe the feet out wider than the hips. I'm going to take cobbler pose just because I want to open up my hips. So kind of scoot yourself around, close down the eyes, let yourself arrive to your mat. Let the breath really arrive in the body. And just pause and let the mind follow the breath. Let the mind trace the breath as it comes in through the nose, travels through the chest and the ribs to the belly. As the mind watches it from the belly, the ribs, and the chest. Just take a few moments here to be with your breath, to be on your mat. Maybe set an intention for the practice. Set an intention for this day. Maybe deepening the breath, fuller inhales, longer exhales. And with those longer exhales, as the body kind of settles down onto the mat, notice any areas that might feel a little tight, a little tense. And see if you can send the breath, the focus to that area to soften and smooth it out. I always say, excuse me, this is your yoga practice. The asana prepares you for this, but the union of mind and body and breath and spirit, that's yoga. One more full breath here. Long exhale. And maybe blink the eyes open. Whatever position your legs are in, let's bring the feet to center. We'll roll over to one side. Remove whatever you've got underneath you. Stretch it out long here on your mat. Fingers away from toes. Take a little wiggle of the shoulders. And then gently draw the knees in. Squeeze your knees into the chest. Maybe take a rock. And again, just simple movement here to just wake up the hip joints. Bring your hands gently on the knees and just make wide circles. Wide, slow circles with the knees, sending them out to the side, down and around. And reverse and the opposite way. Waking up the core just a bit. Hug the right knee into the chest. Hover the left leg long, just an inch or so off the mat. Let's flex through both feet and flare through the toes. So here, squeeze the right knee in and switch it out. Right knee, right leg hovers, left knee squeezes in. And just alternate right and left, hovering one leg, keep those toes flared, everything active here. And then there's that option. As you squeeze the knee in, bring the chin up. Alternate. Maybe you keep the shoulder blades off the mat as you alternate each leg. Just an option. Waking up the core, using the breath, hugging in your belly. Let's take about 5 more each side. And then slowly wind that back down. Bring the knees into the chest. Extend the arms out to a T. Send the fingertips away. So again, begin to feel all the space along the collarbone and the pecs, the biceps. Taking in a nice full deep breath. Just drop the knees over to the right. A very gentle twist. And again, always feel free. Grab a block or that towel to support those legs. Maybe notice how the neck feels as you gaze over the left hand. Just take a moment to just breathe into the left ribs, the left side body. 2 more breaths here. On your next inhale, bring the knees back to neutral, level out your hips. Take a full deep breath in, draw the belly in, and just let the knees go left. Let them land where they land, support them if you need the support. Maybe a slight rotation of the head to the right if it feels good in the neck this morning. Again, bring space into the right rib cage. Breathing so deep, you separate and find that space on the right side body. One more inhale and release the exhale. And then draw the knees back into center. The head comes to center. Give the knees a nice squeeze and then plant the feet like in a bridge position. Take the arms out to the side, lift them up, and bring the hands to opposite shoulders, like right behind your shoulder blades, not on top, right behind, like you're giving yourself a nice big hug. So you've stacked through those elbows. Take a breath in. Again, when you hug that belly in, feel the spine on the mat. Just bring the elbows up towards the ceiling, towards the forehead, back to the ceiling, and release them back down to the chest. So notice what's going on in the shoulders this morning. Elbows up to the ceiling, to the forehead, back towards the ceiling, and down. Maybe 3 more times on your own. And with your hands resting in that shoulder area, just feel all the muscles, everything you might hear, a little bit of clicking. It's all good stuff. Last one. Good. Release that. Send the arms back overhead, the legs long. One more big stretch here. And then we'll find our way to all fours. So if you want to rock and roll front to back along the spine, take that option. Or if you just want to bring yourself around, And when you come to all fours, a couple cat-cows, just to, again, open up the front and the back body. So maybe tucking under the toes here, just getting a little space in the feet and the arches. Take the belly in. And as you're ready, as you lift that tailbone, lift the heart space, draw in a nice full breath, belly drops. Follow that by rounding in, pushing in through the palms, tucking in the chin, finding length in the neck. And then you move through your body. It doesn't have to be the traditional cat-cow. You can take any movement here that feels good. Two more. And as you return to that neutral table, again, scooping the belly in, spine nice and long, extend the right leg back to rest on the ball of the foot. And as you rest on the ball of the foot, press the heel away. So the belly stays in, the shoulders are still right over the wrist. As you press the heel away, just begin to feel the engagement of the calf muscles. Take in a breath, and then we'll roll it to the top of the toes. And then we'll roll through those toe joints as we press the heel back. So just kind of flow with this through the foot to the tippy toes, back to the heel, pressing back and away. Listen to your breath. Again, keep the core engaged. Next time you arrive back on those tippy toes, pause there. And just kind of flip that foot over onto the top of the foot. Lightly, lightly press down just to get a nice stretch there. And then come back onto the tippy toes and just roll through that toe to heel. We're going to prepare for that modified side plank here. So the next time the heel is back, press the heel back and then plant it down. The left shin is going to go off to the side of the mat behind you. Left hand right underneath the face. Press into that left palm, rotate yourself open to the right, and lift the arm up. So as you arrive here, your gaze can be down or straight out or up at your thumb, whatever feels good in your neck. Draw your hips in line. Don't keep the booty out. Draw it in line, and then take the arm overhead. As you take the arm overhead, this is a big stretch for sequence. So just feel into the body and do what feels good for you this morning. Press the heel down, reach through the fingers. As you're here, circle the arm. Nice and slow. Top of the mat to the ceiling, back down towards the hip. And then the next time, the arm circles down by the hip. Press through to that bottom palm, and like somebody's grabbing your right hand, bring yourself up to your gate pose, right? Slide your right hand down the outside of the leg, lift the left arm up, and take it over. Take your breath, open up your chest. Big breath. Now this is where the block comes in handy. So if you need the block, bring it in kind of close. We're going to flow this. So big breath in, then top hand comes down to the mat or the block, and we return to that modified side plank. Deep breath. Press off the hand, bring it back, find your side stretch. So flow this 3 times on your own. Nice and slow. Feel into all the feels. And we'll meet in modified side plank. So as you arrive back again, extend that arm, draw the hips in. Take the arm up to the ceiling, take a bend and find a half bind. Use that half bind to rotate the chest open. You can stay right here, or you can test your balance by lifting that straight leg, pressing the heel away, engaging the glutes, or reaching back, bending the knee, grabbing for the shin or the ankle, opening up the heart just a little bit further. Again, gaze can be up or down. Wherever you are, release the same way you went in. Circle the arm back down and around. Return to your table. Take a couple cat-cows. Returning to that neutral table, we'll switch it to the other side. So left leg extends back onto the ball of the foot. Again, gather the belly, press into your palms, send the heel away. So just pause, engaging that calf, and then just flow, tippy toes, heel back. Up to the tippy toes, heel back. Take about 3 here. Waking up the foot, the toe joints, the ankle, the Achilles, the calf. Next time you're up on those tippy toes, stay there. Gently flip the foot over onto its top. A gentle press down, nice stretch in the top of the foot, the front of the ankle. And then return back to those tippy toes and just roll it out again, heel to toes. Preparing for our modified side plank. Slow that down, plant the left heel down, swivel the right shin out, right hand underneath the face, press into that hand, open to the left, extend the arm up. So draw the hips in line, take in a breath, maybe drop the arm overhead. So really pressing in with the heel and reaching through the fingers. Now again, bringing in that block a little bit closer if it's further out. We're going to press into that bottom arm. No, we're going to circle the arm. So it comes down by the hip, back up to the ceiling and forward. Nice slow circles. And the next time the arm is by the hip, press off that bottom palm, bring yourself up, find your gate pose. Slide the left hand down the outside of the leg, right arm extends up to the ceiling. Again, draw the hips in, take the arm over, find the side bend. Big breath here. Arm goes back up. Now we're going to flow this. So right hand comes down to the mat or block. Find your side plank. Press off and up. Find your side stretch. Take 4 more on your own. Again, try to flow fluid with fluid breath. And feel all the places in your body that have to engage to do this. Easy breath, easy movement. As you finish this last one, we'll meet in modified side plank, allowing the arm to extend over the head, again, reaching that long body stretch. Big inhale, hand comes up to the ceiling, find that half bind, use that bind to help rotate the chest up. Option to stay right here with your breath, or challenge your balance by lifting that straight leg, pressing through that heel, or maybe reaching back for the ankle and opening up the chest. All of them are options this morning. Choose the one best for you. 2 breaths. Coming out slowly the way you went in. Meeting in that extended modified plank. Then circle the arm down. Return to your table. Find your cat and cow. Bring the big toe mounds together. Let the knees go wide. Set the hips back towards the heels, finding your child's pose. Extend the arms out forward. If this is your 20-minute practice, just stack the palms and rest your head on top of the palms. Close down your eyes and just turn your device off. Spend just a few moments here. If you're continuing with me, find that extended child's pose. So planting those finger pads down, pressing your hips back. This is active. Forearms are off the ground. Deep breath. And see here if you can bring your focus to the soft tissue under the arms. All of the lymphs there. Just see if you can open and stretch and soften. And then we'll take the counter pose to that. So walking the hands back, drawing the knees together. Bring the arms beside the body, palms up, or hold on to your heels. Again, if the forehead doesn't reach the mat, no worries, just use your block. So let the shoulders round in. The chest softens. A wonderful opportunity to back body breathe. Expanding the back ribs. Expanding the back of the lungs. And with the knees together, there's a slight rounding of the spine. So just feel into the spine and the space you're creating maybe between the vertebrae. And just let the body sink. One more breath here. Then slide the hands underneath the shoulders. If you're using the block, just glance around here before we get started. Make sure both blocks now are at the top of your mat. Hands underneath your shoulders. Tuck in your toes. Lift your hips high. Knees can stay bent. Find your forward fold at the back of the mat. So as you arrive here, even with bent knees, let the ribs rest on the thighs. Let the head hang heavy. Maybe even shake it out. Cupping those elbows, bringing weight to your stretch. So with the knees bent, it's not quite so much intense into the hamstrings. This is more just to release the back, the neck, and the head. Take in a full deep breath. And then release, let the arms dangle down. We're going to plant the left hand underneath our face. Bend into that left knee, right leg's going to straighten. So now we're going to start to feel some heat, some length into the hamstring on the right side. As you plant that left hand, keep that bend in the left knee, take that right arm up to the ceiling, find again, twist, maybe roll through that wrist, flare the fingers, flick them, whatever feels good into the hand, into the wrist. And again, a half bind here, just to help us rotate the chest a little more to the right. And notice your breath. The breath here is the teacher. If it's choppy, You've gone too far, come out of the pose a bit. Find that place where the breath can be fluid, equal length in inhales and exhales. One more breath. Lift the arm back up to the ceiling, and nice and slow, right arm comes down. Plant that right hand under the face, switch sides, nice bend into the right knee, left leg straightens. Just pause there again to feel the muscles engage, the hamstring engage here. As you press into the right hand, the left arm lifts out to the side, the left arm lifts up. Again, any movement that feels good into the hands, spread them wide, flick them. Maybe roll through the wrist. Watch if you're holding up your head. Just relax the head and the neck. And then find your half bind on this side. So keep that bend into the right knee. Hand comes behind the back or over to the side waist. Let that help you rotate to the left. Gaze can be down or out to the side. Couple deep breaths here. Slowly we'll release the bind, re-extend the arm, and then slowly lower the left arm down to the mat. Again, let the body dangle down here. Come onto your fingertips, find that half lift. So begin to straighten through both legs, straighten through the spine, draw the belly in and squeeze in the shoulder blades. Your gaze is straight down. Release that and fold. Twice more, halfway lift. Belly's in and fold. Now on your halfway lift, remember you can use blocks, you can bring your hands to shins just to get that extension. And if you do that, notice the difference in the space that you have. And then release all that and fold. Maybe bring the hands behind the knee crease, hug in the forearms, let the ribs rest on the thighs. And again, just find some movement in the head and the neck. And then we'll release. Slowly roll your way up to stand. Lift the arms out to the side and up. Draw them into the heart space and take a walk to the top of your mat. And as you arrive, again, blocks there to support you as we move into our lunge sequence. But before we do, feet hip distance apart. Gaze down at the feet, your foundation here. Lift all 10 toes, spread them as wide as you can, and then drop them slowly one at a time. Leave the big toe up, just play, and then drop it down. Hands come to prayer at the heart, soften the shoulders, close down the eyes. Feel into your feet. So a subtle rock from the balls of the feet to the heels. Like water subtly moving back and forth in a bowl. Side to side, from the blade edge to the inner arch. So small of a movement, I wouldn't see it if I was watching you. Front to back, side to side. Finding that equal distribution of weight now. Let's flow 4 half sun cells. I'm going to lead the first one. And you take that moving meditation on your own, nice and slow with breath. And as you're ready, exhale all the air out. On the inhale, take the arms out to the side and overhead. Find prayer hands, bring them through the heart. as you forward fold. Again, hands can come to the blocks. Halfway lift and fold deeper. Inhale, rise up. Draw the arms out, gather everything up. Maybe take that standing back bend. And then you take it from here. 3 more, flow on your own. Meeting in our prayer Tadasana. Take your time. From our prayer Tadasana, we'll move into our lunge sequence. So drawing in the inhale, take the arms out and overhead, extend up. This time, swan dive, arms out to the sides, straight spine, hinge from the hips, forward fold. Halfway lift and fold. Hands to block. Step the right foot back, find your runner's lunge first. Separate the feet. Good. Drop the back knee, untuck the back toe. If you're using your blocks, press into your blocks. Send the chest forward and up. Take in a full breath. Either stay on your block, or maybe you bring your hands interlaced on the left thigh, press into the thigh, come out of your low lunge, square your hips, then return back. Again, feeling into the right hip flexor. The chest stays lifted, breath stays flowing. Nice, full, deep breath. Option here to lift the arms up. Option here to interlace, place behind the head. Open up the elbows, let the head rest back, open up the throat, open up the chest. Take in the breath, come back up, circle the hands back down to your block, moving into half splits. So if you're using blocks, walk them back with you as you begin to straighten through that front leg. Initially, as you arrive, keep the left foot flat. So again, you get that big stretch all the way through the top of the foot. Draw the belly in, extend the heart forward. Then press into the heel, lift the toes to the ceiling. Again, straight spine. Gaze past the toes. Take the full breath. So again, see here where you can soften. See where you're feeling it. Put the focus there. Use your breath and soften. We're here for one more inhale and one more exhale. Begin now to plant the foot, walk the blocks back, come back to that low lunge. We're going to work that quad just a bit. So just depending on how your quads feel, tuck that back toe under, lift the back heel, and just kind of test the waters here by tapping the ball of the foot down. Good. If there's no cramping, no pain, then maybe hold the heel up. If that's okay, option is to take the left hand around, reach for the ankle, maybe draw it in a little bit more. Again, the chest stays lifted. Keep the breath flowing. Releasing the ball of the foot back down, toes are tucked now. Lift the back knee back to that runner's lunge, right? Hands to blocks, stay here. Or maybe one hand at a time, you bring it to the thigh. And again, press into the thigh, lift the heart up. Belly's in. Find your balance, find your breath. Maybe lift the arms up. Sink down. Circle the arms back down to your block or the mat. Straighten that front leg, keep the spine long, finding your pyramid pose. So again, it's kind of like that half lift, but your body is over that left thigh, gaze is down. Maybe you lift the front toes here. Maybe you drop the back heel. Maybe you alternate. And then just pause in your pyramid. Noticing your breath. And we're going to shift the weight. So you might want to bend into that front knee just a bit to kind of launch off, finding your modified warrior three. So my hands, I'm using blocks. Flexing the back foot, all toes down. So we want to keep the hips level. Maybe one hand can reach back there just to check it. If three is in your practice, maybe you release your hands from the block, bring them to your heart or the arms beside the body. But don't be afraid to use the blocks just to feel into your warrior three. Take a nice deep breath here. Lift that leg a little bit higher, like a standing split. And bend the knee and let the right foot join the left. Find a nice fold. And a halfway lift. And a fold. Then bring yourself all the way up. Let the arms reach out. Let the arms reach up. Find that standing back bend. And then arms out to the side, swan dive forward. Halfway lift and fold. Left leg steps back. Runner's lunge first, right? So distance between the feet for stability. Press into your blocks or your fingers. Find the length in the spine, lift the chest. Slowly drop the back knee, untuck the toes. So if you're using blocks, press into your blocks, find length in the whole spine. Maybe the hands come to the thighs. Maybe you press into the thighs, come out of your lunge. Again, straighten out the hips, find your length, find your breath, and then sink back down. It's not just kind of plopping down, because you're really holding this to begin to stretch that left hip flexor here. Draw the belly in, keep the breath strong. Returning, arms maybe come up. Circle them down and around, find your mat or your block. Begin to straighten that front leg. If you're using blocks, walk them back underneath the shoulders. As the leg straightens, keep that foot flat first. Again, just to feel that stretch. Very hard to find during the day. Pause there. Then we'll lift those toes up. Press the heel down, flare the toes. Press into your block or your fingers. Extend the spine, draw in the belly. Gaze past those toes. 3 breaths. Transitioning out, plant that foot, begin to bend into that front knee, walk yourself forward, back to that low lunge. So again, different side, different quad. Take your time, test it out. Tuck in the back toes, lift the back heel. So again, just maybe coaxing the quad a little bit by just tapping the toes down as you lift the heel up. If that feels okay, maybe taking it a little further by just holding the heel up. Breath is flowing, don't collapse in the chest. If that feels okay, maybe taking it deeper, reaching back around with the right hand to grab onto the pant leg or the ankle, pull the heel in closer. Deep breathing. If you have the foot, slowly lower it down. Keep those toes tucked. Lift the back knee. So coming back towards that runner's lunge first, just to stabilize. Then maybe one hand to the thigh, maybe the other. Wobble's okay. Good. Lengthen the spine. Use your breath. Maybe lift the arms up. Circle back around to your blocks. Good. We're going to straighten that front leg, finding our pyramid pose. So draw the belly in, extend the spine long. Back heel is up. If you want to play, lift the front toes. Drop the back heel. Alternate front toes down, back heel up. Back and forth, or just hold it still. Return to your pyramid pose, preparing again for that modified 3, right? So we're going to bend a little bit into the front knee so that we can launch off the the back foot, and lift the back leg. Again, level out the hips. All 5 toes pointing down will help you. Maybe one hand comes to the hip points, and you can just feel that left hip is even with the right. If you press the heel away, the balance becomes a little more stable. Even out your breath. Option again, bring one hand to the heart or both. Arms forward or beside you, depends on your warrior 3. We're here for 4 more deep breaths. We'll slowly lift that leg a little higher, like for your standing splits. Then take a bend into the knee. Left foot comes down to meet the right. Enjoy a forward fold. A half lift. And a fold. And nice and slow, roll your way back up to stand. Let the arms reach out and up. Hands find prayer. The standing back bend. Bring the hands to the heart. Softening your breath. Maybe you feel that life inside you, that heartbeat. Taking a full breath. And drop the arms beside you. Take a big step to the side of your mat. Pigeon toe the feet. From here, take a nice deep breath in. Lift the arms. And as you bring the arms out to the side and down, bring the hands down right underneath the shoulders. So you're in that halfway lift position. Keep the hips back. Walk the hands forward like your downward facing dog. Keep inching those fingers as far forward as you can. Draw in the belly. Begin again to find the softening underneath the arms and the chest. Let the head hang. No need to bring any tension into the neck. One more breath. See if there's any more room to crawl a little bit forward and to drop the chest just a little bit more. Coming back out, walk the fingertips back underneath the shoulders. Flip them around so the fingertips point behind you, and then continue the journey with those fingertips as far back as you can, bringing the crown of the head down closer to the mat. So here, you let the shoulders round in. Again, notice the head. Shake it out. Two more breaths. Walk the hands back underneath the shoulders. Begin to bend into the right knee. Keep the left long, just finding some length in the inside of the left leg. Again, your spine is nice and straight. Your gaze is straight down. Take in a breath. Let it go. Inhale, come back to center. Take it to the other side. Feel into the right inner leg. Now, your choice. You can bring your hands to heart as we move side to side, taking it nice and slow. You can keep your hands on blocks or on your mat for a little more stability. Keep the belly in to support the spine. Keep that chest lifted up. Couple more each side. Good. Returning slowly now as you finish each side equally. Back to center. Drop the hands. Let the hands reach for the ankles. Use that grip to help draw the head down. Release the head heavy. Tuck the chin in. Lengthen the neck. Maybe rotate the head to the right and to the left. Tuck the chin in. Maybe make a circle with the head. And then release the hands back, down. Heel toe the feet in, just a little bit wider than hip distance. Heels in, toes out. Malasana flow here. Tuck in the belly. As you're ready, set those hips back. Spine straight. Lift the chest. Take it back. Straighten the legs. Drop the head. Nice and slow with breath. Set the hips back. Find your squat. Press through those feet. Forward fold. 3 more. Almost there, you guys. If Malasana is in your practice, leave the flow and find a few breaths in your squat. Easy breathing. And as you finish your flow, coming back down to your squatting position, we're going to just make our way any way you can do it onto your seat. Extending the legs out in front of you. Kind of shake them out. Maybe give yourself a little bit of a massage in the hip crease and the thighs. All the way down to the ankles. Hold on to the ankles for just 1 minute to just Bring the chest forward. So from the tailbone all the way up the spine to the crown of the head. Find all that length. And then release the hands beside the legs. Slide them up towards your hips. Continue on to your forearms. Press into the forearms. Arch the spine, lift the chest, let the head fall back into that upper trapezius. Open up the throat. Open up the chest. Open up the front of the shoulders. Full deep breath in. And then slowly release the low back and the ribs, the shoulder blades, and the head down to the mat. Draw the knees into the chest. Allow for a big hug. Take a rock from one side to the other. We'll take a final twist here before our resting pose. So as you rock, bring yourself back to neutral. Hug those knees in one more time. Lift the tailbone, get the stretch into that low, low, low back. Keep the knees in, extend the arms to a cactus position again, just to open up that chest. And drop the knees over to the right. Support where you need to support. Again, just breathe into the side body, settling everything down. If you want to extend that top leg off on a diagonal to straighten it, might be good. One final stretch there, holding on with that right hand to the outer calf. Maybe sliding that bottom foot around so that the left hand can reach for that big toe and draw it in. Shoulders nice and soft on the mat. Keep the head in a neutral position here. 3 long breaths. We'll slowly release the bottom foot if you have it. Release the extended leg if it's extended. Bring the knees back together. Use your core to bring them back up to center. Level out the hips, squeeze in the knees. Take that rock right and left. And then again, cactus those arms out. Drop the knees over to the left. Keep the shoulders nice and soft on your mat. Enjoy the breath through the back body, rolling across the ribs. And again, if you chose to do it on the other side and you want to extend the top leg, if you want to curl in the bottom foot, maybe the left hand holds on to the calf. Maybe the right hand holds on to the big toe. We soften through the shoulders, let the body soften here. 3 long, slow breaths. Slowly releasing the bottom foot if you have it. Releasing the straight leg. Bring the knees back in together. Using your core, draw them back in. One final squeeze. Maybe you tuck it into a nice tight ball. And then release yourself down to your final resting pose. Whether it's throwing your legs up on the couch, coffee table or extending them to the corners of your mat. Allow the arms to fall away from the body, squeeze in the shoulder blades, tuck in the chin, shut down the eyes, draw in a nice deep breath, and just let your body settle here. I'm going to leave you here. Hopefully you can enjoy a few more minutes of your Shavasana before you start your day. For a lot of us, it's a 3-day holiday. We will have a short Monday, Memorial Day practice to honor those who gave everything. Namaste.